somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?
Alright. It's Funk, the good doctor. Um, this one, I've been just going crazy all day. I did 2 music videos, just fucking around with that Freaknik shit, and then Afro Man and all that. And then, I'm reading my news, waiting for them to upload. And this one is just glaring at me. Let the billionaires pay for the crisis. Uh, Each year, Forbes magazine releases its famous list of billionaires. The just-released 2010 classifications provide insightful information that in 1 year, the number of billionaires increased from 793 to 1011, and their accumulated wealth is 3,600 billion, up 50% compared to the previous year for the super rich. Crisis is long gone. That's a damn shame. No matter that Bill Gates is only the second, passed by Mexico's Carlos Slim, sounds like a fucking drug dealer name, whose wealth reached 53.5 bill. The most important is that such an amount concentrated in the hands of one person represents 12 times the budget of a country like the Democratic Republic of Congo, which houses over 68 million. It also represents more than 3.3 million years of minimum wage in force in France. This sharp increase in the number of millionaires happens when billions of people see their living conditions deteriorated, Jesus fucking Christ, after the crisis. This shows vividly the manner that the rich have successfully managed to let the cost of this crisis be borne by greater numbers. In many countries, north and south, the state debt has soared, particularly for the relief of those responsible for this crisis, private banks, hedge funds, or to pay the consequences. The increase of this debt is then the excuse to impose antisocial measures that penalize the people but spare the rich. In contrast to the capitalist system that shows every day its disastrous social consequences, one idea is gaining ground, that of a global tax on large fortunes. Advanced by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, in 1995. For example, a 20% tax on the wealth of the few thousand millionaires would get $720 billion, half the public external debt of all developing countries in '08. And it's 3.5 times their total annual payments under such debt. It's amazing. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't even do anything! You know what? Let's take this moment right now to get angry. About billionaires who have more money than they know what to do with, that don't have to pay taxes, that don't have to back up the banks. Let's also get inventively pissed off at pop-ups. Are you kidding me? I've got the pop-up blocker, the fucking, all the scanners, all of this and that. Every time my mouse swings over a fucking green word, something for a game website pops up. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't even swing a mouse around on the screen without someone advertising in my face. That's one of those billionaires. The money freed up could be added to others to come and lay the groundwork for another globalization. Recovery of sums paid to large private banks since the beginning of the crisis and to repair the social damage caused due to their inordinate thirst for profits by placing a levy on the assets of their directors and their major shareholders. The abolition of public external debt in developing countries. Payment by the industrialized countries for repairs from the damages of 5 centuries of domination, slavery, colonization, destruction of local cultures, plundering of natural resources, and environmental destruction. Surrender of ill-gotten wealth by the elites of the South, which involves conducting international investigations and the removal of legal and tax havens. Taxation of international financial transactions and benefits of transnational corporations at the same time. The full sovereignty of the people can be effective only if all the macroeconomic conditionalities of structural adjustment as the IMF and World Bank imposed for 30 years are abandoned. A new international economic and financial architecture will be possible, with the priority being the security of basic human rights. Holy shit! Could you imagine a world where the priority is the security of basic human rights? That's the world I thought I lived in. The recovered funds would then allow the populations to not bear the consequences of the crisis into the people of South. It would finally trigger a real development they would be able to decide for themselves, taking into account their own needs and their own interests as required by their creditors, taking full advantage of their natural resources while respecting cultural differences. Publication of the Forbes rankings should be an opportunity to challenge the foundations of the economic and financial model in place and propose radical measures for the billionaires cited in the rankings and all those who have amassed extravagant fortunes to bear the cost of a crisis where regular, it should say regular, people are victims. Regular Joes like you and me and, not this guy. Not at all. While neoliberal precepts were briefly vilified after the outbreak of the crisis in 07-08, no education was drawn from it, and it's always the same ones who benefit from a financial globalization and the unjust distribution of wealth that it organizes. The very rich have resumed their march forward. That is trampling on the rights of the vast majority of the others and leading the world into a suicidal impasse. But already ideas, forces are germinating that may impede their mad rush. The challenge is to manage to impose them as quickly as possible. That is absolutely correct. We absolutely need to hold them accountable. When the shit goes down and the riots have begun and the wars have started, people are arming and others are hiding. Governments aren't the ones to attack. Governments are seats of power. They're celebrities. Obama and all the people at the Fed and everything. It's all, those are the cast of characters. Dramatis personae. What we need to do is attack the rich. That's been a concept of punk music for a long time. Eat the rich. Exactly. Fuck the rich. If you have $1 billion, you better hide, because it's time. It's really getting there. People with real world skills, real experience, have been working for years on end, are now getting bent over and raped by assholes in business suits who have no idea what a day of work is. Take all your money out of the banks now. Fucking rent. You're not going to own anything anyways. That's the point. You can't own land anymore. Because if you own land, you could damn well grow tomatoes and lettuce and all that shit. They don't want that. They don't want you to grow your own food. So they are taking away your rights to own land. You may as well fucking rent. Rent, take all your money out of the bank, tie it up in a fucking shoebox, and hide it under your goddamn bed. April 15th through 18th, ODS Patriot, new Operation Dark Star, put out a video saying from the 15th to the 18th of April, no consumerism. Don't purchase. Don't rent a DVD. You cook food at home. Don't get gas. Get your gas prior. Do nothing. Skip work. Skip school. Stay home. Make a point. We have to be heard somehow. Because if we're not heard now, it will come to wars and riots and fighting. Just don't forget that when the shit goes down, if you're not one of the hiding, be one of the ones looking for rich people. Rich people and anybody that works at the Federal Reserve. Because they're taking your money. And they're printing fake dollar bills, jamming this monopoly money up your ass, and making you pay them back for fake money. They want real money for their fake money. Wow. It's such a fucked up world we live in. And the problem is I'm going to probably catch a lot of shit for calling out the rich and calling for them to be the ones that get attacked. I don't care. Because that's how it is. That's the truth. Funk's out. Funk's pissed.